What's going on, guys? Been with liftedimports.com here, and today we're going to do a quick little mod on the 2011 Subaru Outback. And it's not really a mod, but more of like a piece of maintenance. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to LED light bulbs. Now, typically, I tell people usually if your car came with halogens, make sure, just stick with halogens. But this car is easily one of the most frustrating vehicles to change headlight bulbs in of all time. I don't think I've ever dealt with a car that's got a more frustrating headlight change procedure than this vehicle. So if you own one of these from 2010 to 2014, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You either have to take the front bumper off, or you have to pull the wheel off and dig your way up behind the fender liners and do it all by feeling with no sight. So I had a headlight go out in this car recently, and I was like, dude, I'm so over this. I'm just going to switch to LED. I was just like, I do not want to ever do this again. I'm going to just switch it over. And it's funny because within like a week of me deciding to go ahead and switch this car over to LEDs, one of the reps from a company called Auxito reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to sample our headlights? Now, typically, I don't even respond to these emails. If you guys know me, you know that I don't really take free products. Like, that's not really why I do what I do. I don't ever like feeling like I need to speak kindly of a product that I don't actually like. However, I've actually used their headlights, their LEDs, in my daily driver. It's like 2 years ago, I switched my daily driver over to some LEDs, and I actually used Auxito headlights. And so when their rep reached out, I was like, actually, yes, I would love to do that. And so they just asked that I would make a video and show you guys the headlights and then share a little bit about them. So just full disclosure, they sent them to me for free. But when I initially bought their headlights, I bought them because I felt like for the price, they were well engineered. The temperature was right, so they're not super blue or purple. It's a very clean white temperature. So they sent them to me, and I wanted to just show you kind of the installation process, like a brief overview. However, there's already, a bunch of good tutorials on how to do this already. So I'm going to try to link those in either the description or in the pinned comment, because I think those videos are already really good, and they probably deserve your, your view. So I'll do that for you. And then the other thing was the Auxito rep actually gave me a code that I can give to you guys, like a discount code. So if you decide, oh, this actually is something I need to do, and you're tired of switching bulbs out, they gave me a discount code, and I'm going to put it in the description for you. And if you want to use it, you can. I'm super excited about this. I've had them in for about 2.5 weeks at this point and have been pretty happy with them. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to do a little bit of commentary throughout the video, throughout the process. It's not super in-depth, but I am throughout the video going to share with you a couple little quick tips and tricks as I go through it. If you have questions, hit the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. I know I haven't been on YouTube a lot in the past month or month and a half. I've been super, super busy with life stuff. Got a lot of stuff on my plate, so pray for me. All right, you guys, let's get into it. Went ahead and grabbed the LED bulbs, and they make these in a few different variations. This is the version without the fan. They make a version that's got no fan, and then another version that has a really small internal fan. The ones that I've been running for 2 years, I wasn't sure if they would last. I thought for sure maybe they'd heat up and stop working. But I've been running them for 2 years with not a single problem, so that's what I opted for with these on this, this particular car. Now, the thing that I like about these is they are almost identical to the beam pattern as what you would find in a regular halogen. Now, when you get up under the hood, you're going to see that little fixture right there. And that attachment that you can see from under the hood is for the high beams. You're not trying to change that. You're trying to change the other one that is farther back, kind of hidden behind the, the body of the car. So what I did was I went ahead and basically turned the wheels in so that I had a little bit of room to work. And then there's clips to release the fender liners. Now you're going to want to release those clips. There should be 4 down on the bottom. Then you're probably going to have another one that is holding it near where the fender and the bumper meet. And so you're either going to have to pull that out, or there's going to be like a zip tie, because a lot of people zip tie these, myself included. And then there's going to be one more up at the top that you're probably going to need to remove. But either way, what you're going to need to be able to do is to reach all the way up and have access at the very top of the wheel arch so that you can get your arm in there. Now here's a quick look at the 2 bulbs side by side. So I've got the halogen on the left, got the new LEDs on the right, and they are very similar in size and just the overall, construction. The LEDs are made to fit just exactly the same as the traditional halogens. So now at this point, I went ahead and jumped over to the other side, turned the wheel eventually inward, but initially I started and thought, oh, maybe I can just reach back and do this. No, you really do need to turn both of the wheels inside. So when you switch over, you're going to want to get back into the car, turn it on, and then turn your wheels over to the driver's side as you start doing the passenger, just so that you've got a way to reach in there and actually get stuff done. So if you take a look here, you can actually see the difference in the temperature. The LEDs are like a really nice white temp instead of being like a really warm temperature like the halogens. But here's just a comparison of how the two compare in terms of the type of light that they produce. Okay, so here you can see I turned the wheel towards the driver's side just so that I could get my hands up in there. And at this point, it's just a whole lot of fighting. Now, there's a bunch of good information out there already on how to do this job correctly. There's some people who put in a lot of time and effort into creating a really good video for you guys that shows all the different steps of doing this. And I think they deserve your attention. So I'm going to try to find one of those and link it so that you can actually see a really good representation of how to do this if you get lost along the way. But I will say that this whole process, it is kind of difficult to get in there and do it. But once you do it with the LEDs, you're not really going to have to fight this very often. Hopefully it'll be a, once every 5 to 10 years type of thing. But we've got them done. They're in. You can kind of see how they look. That brightness just looks really nice. And I went ahead and just polished up the headlights real quick with some Meguiar's Plastex, and I think that gave it a nice look. But overall, I just want to share this with you. This was something that I've been procrastinating on doing, but switching over to LEDs was really good. And I do want to give a shout out to Auxito. I really appreciated them actually sending me a good product instead of some of the stuff that people reach out trying to give me for free so that I can promote their junk. But their stuff is actually something that, in the price range that it is, I think is one of the better options. And after having had years of experience using it, I actually felt pretty comfortable, getting on here and representing it for you guys. But if you got any questions about this, let me know. The whole process has worked fine. They've been in the car for, I want to say 2 to 2.5 weeks at this point, and they've been working great. It's way better in terms of like trying to drive this vehicle at night. Great visibility, looks fine, no issues with the LEDs being too bright or scattering incorrectly and being inconveniencing to other drivers.